Hi, I'm Tayne.
And I'm Aid, and this is Altar Call, a Married at First Sight podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another off-season episode. And this time, we will be discussing Love Island USA. And I am joined by a special guest. Aid is not with us today. And the special guest is Nana. Hi, Nana. How are you?
Hi, I'm so happy to be back. My second favorite podcast. Whoop whoop.
Clarify your favorites. Clarify your
Of
favorite is.
course, it's a rewatch. Come on.
Okay. Okay, so for those of you that are new to us, I always joke that Nana is my other podcast work wife. I, Tayne, have the podcast with Aid for Alta Call MAFS. I have another podcast called The Rewatch that I co-host with Nana, and we basically watched all 6 seasons of Sex and the City and the first movie, and we recapped it. And every now and then, Nana hops on over to chat with us on Alta Call. So if you are interested in re-listening or re-watching Sex and the City before Maps comes back, it is called The Rewatch Sex and the City. You can find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts.
Yes. And
Um,
we're doing just like that as well. I don't know if you. Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot to mention that we do cover And Just Like That also. So when the upcoming season comes, we will be there too. I do want to preface that Nana claims, I should say claims, that she does not watch reality TV. I'm a good friend and I play along, and she does not watch reality TV, but she does watch some. And part of the some is Love Island. Um, I would let you share with the people your history with Love Island. And we're going to talk a little bit about Love Island UK, where it originated from. So, can you share with the people your relationship with Love Island as a franchise?
Yeah. And do you know what? I've actually started saying that less and less. So I don't watch reality TV because no, do you know what? I've always said I watch reality TV, but I've always preferred reality TV about skills, if it makes sense, like MasterChef or I don't know, things like that. And
They're
but
called
Love,
competitive reality
yes,
shows.
competitive reality. But I feel like if I say that, you're gonna think Survivor, and I don't watch that either,
Oh, the
or The
challenge. But
Challenge,
go
and I don't
ahead.
watch
I
that either.
support you.
Yeah, because they're the two biggest ones, and I don't even watch them. Yeah, I just anyway, as an aside. So I'm trying. The very first Love Island season I watched all the way through was Love Island UK season 4. um I re- I think I became aware of Love Island kind of as a thing that maybe I was interested in season 3, because in the UK there was this huge brouhaha about Miss Great Britain who was on Love Island at the
Yeah.
time, and she had sex on camera and it was like a huge thing. And I was just like, damn, is it that deep? Like they stripped off her title, all of that. It would clearly never happen today, but yeah, that was then.
Yeah.
Um, so Love Island season 4, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And I was like, this is like the perfect mindless fluff I need, because I don't know. I think my issue when I said I don't like reality shows, I just really hate when I can see. I'm like, I think you're playing me for a fool. Like, I can see you scripted this. Like, you've told people to do this, you told people to do that, and I'm supposed to just pretend and like go along with it. Like, I might as well watch a drama. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that I think my first like real time Love Island season was season 4. And I know we used to talk about that a lot. I think, yeah, we watched it together, didn't we? Like the whole season.
Yeah, so season 4 was also my introduction. I think we watched it and then we went back and
Yes.
co-watched the earlier seasons together. So sometimes, guys, we co-watch some things. Most recently, I think we did Traders. The
Yes.
most recent Traders, we co-watched that
Yeah.
together. She doesn't watch reality show, guys, but we co-watch shows together.
Guys, I was having a rough year, okay? And I was down. And Tayne is the one. I don't know. She's just really good at suggesting things for me to watch. And I'd seen Traitors and I was like, ooh. But see, Traitors to me is more like a game show. It's just fun, okay? I need to be
whatever you want to
tricked
call
into a
it.
reality show.
Like I said, I'm just here to support whatever your terminologies are. But yeah, so season 4 was the first real one because honestly, guys, and honestly, I still consider it the last true good season of Love Island UK. I
Oh,
mean, not
not.
to say that the ones. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
please continue. Sorry, I was like, wow, not 5 or 8.
Okay, let me clarify. I think the rawness, we lost it after season 4 because
Yes,
all the things I fell in love with Love Island for started deteriorating. And then even when we went back to go rewatch the earlier seasons, it was raw. There was like, they stopped showing them smoking. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's what I mean by raw was like it got more produced.
yes.
And like you said, the reason why you don't like it is like for reality shows, like I watch a lot of them, so I do know that they're being produced, but can you lie to me a little bit? But we can clearly see the difference. And I always joke that season 4, the not the characters, the what are they? Participants, contestants,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They
Contestants, I guess.
they were like HD in that they were so pretty. They
Yeah,
were so cute. And I'm so sorry, the attractive levels have dropped subsequently over the seasons that I'm like, how did you make it? A bombshell is coming in and I'm like, what is that? Give me
you
a
know what?
Megan. I don't care about the plastic surgery. Give me a Megan. We know these people are obsessed very creepily by hair color, eye color, whatever. Give us that thing that's gonna shake them off, not anything but anyways, that's a whole
I'm gonna push
different
back a
discussion.
bit because I thought season 5 they were all generally really gorgeous, and season 8, but every other season since then they've been. Sorry, I know we're talking about human beings, whatever, but I'm just like, are you joking? Like, I could see this person walking down the street, half of them. Um, but I'm a
Give
hundred
me
percent. Uh huh.
give me the people that were in 5 or 8. I don't
5,
know the
Molly
season
May,
numbers.
Abigail, Anna, Ovi.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Jordan, remember the
Okay,
black Jordan?
okay.
Yeah, they were
You win, you
gorgeous.
win, you win, you win.
Joanna,
You said Ovi. You said
yeah,
Ovi. You win. Okay, okay.
Joanna. Like, they were gorgeous, objectively gorgeous. And then season 8, I do think they were generally a good looking cast.
Who was in
Um,
8?
Dami, India, Ekinsu, David, even though he's not my type and I can't stand
Davide.
him. I had to put that in. Gemma, Luca. Who else was in season 8? Ikenna. I know some
Okay,
people really, yeah. But apart from that, I think they've been just, yeah. But I think you're
okay.
100% correct. Was season 4 was the last time it felt more authentic. It definitely. I think the thing is, Love Island blew up with season 5 even more. It's always been popular, but season 5 became a huge cultural behemoth, and they started interfering more, and then we lost more of what made it good. People were coming on just to be influencers, and it was
Yep.
really obvious, like really obvious. So yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
think definitely that's when
It-
it started to fall off.
yeah. I think in some way I convinced you to watch Australia also.
Yes, season 1 Australia,
Yeah.
one of the best seasons of
Yes.
any franchise. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yes. And they never have been able to match season 1.
Nope.
I mean season 2 kind of, but no, they've never. Season 1 was savage. Australian reality TV, they're generally savage, and I will say, arguably, I think Sophie Monk is the best. Well, Maya is now here in the
Yeah,
conversation, but Sophie Monk is one of the best hosts of the different franchises
yeah.
that
You
they
say
have.
this a
She's
lot.
just
Yeah.
really fun. Yeah, she's just
You know
really
what?
fun and all that stuff.
I like Maya, but I think she would have been even better in the days we're having to suffer Laura, even Caroline Flax, like after her whole issue. Because now you can
Yeah,
tell Maya's been told not to push. I'm sorry. I've been following Maya
yeah,
Jama for a long time. There's some things where I feel like I know she would say something to them, but it's definitely
yeah,
more PC these days. So yeah, she's
yeah.
been
That it
handicapped.
was.
So yeah,
I think the other thing about the Australian version is they do use Sophie Monk a lot more. Like she's
yeah,
just on set
yes.
a way lot more than the others. But
Hmm.
Otherwise, I mean, the Love Island franchise, it's fun. It's just something to look forward to every summer. It's fun to live tweet it, everyone's opinions and all that. But
Yeah.
something Love Island UK has suffered from is just their treatment of the black contestants. Like, it's
Oh.
just the elephant in the room. We're torn because we're like, how do black women still go on this show? And then it's also like, you know what? At this point, here's where I am. I'm fine with them coming on. And for me, it's just like make a name for yourself and get the bag. It's not even
Thank
about winning
you.
because we know they're not going to let you win, but just go in there. But I just hate the way they go on there and make them feel like they're not premium pie. Like you see
And
like the
they're
hottest
always,
person come
let's
in.
say, they're always just as pretty or prettier than the other contestants. And they're literally made to feel like something on the bottom of your shoe. And I'm just like, be for
Yeah,
real. I'm sorry.
yeah.
And you know another thing I've
So
noticed they do with the black contestants? I feel like you either fall into, well, three categories, right? The super unwanted girl, oh, everyone feels sorry for her. So is that how do you cope with your self esteem? And like they did it to Samira, to Kaz, to
yeah,
your one day to some extent. Or they I think the only black girl I feel that has kind of broken the mold, but I didn't finish the season, was Tanya in season 9. She was a
yeah,
wicked woman, as they say, but the pylon was so much and she got so much abuse. I feel like it made, and we can see that in this season, it's made like other black people, I feel like they're more willing to be furniture because they know they get hyper criticized. Or you get a ghost edit where like India, I love India, so I'm very biased, I'll admit, but I feel like she was portrayed as so not boring, but just kind of not as active, I should say, on her season. But anytime you watch After Sun or hear people talk about her, they always like brought her name up. But they won't show you that because they're obviously showing you a narrative that they want to see. And I'm so happy that outside of the show, she's got so many opportunities and she's clearly got a very sparkling personality that they just
yeah,
refuse to show you on the show. So yeah, and they're doing it on
yeah.
purpose. You can't tell me otherwise. So yeah, just my
Yeah, I feel
opinion.
like Mimi, I feel like Mimi's getting that edit this
Hmm.
season. Like they just don't show them a lot, and it's almost like, oh, how's your relationship with Aya? But I think this is a good segue into Love Island USA, which is what we're talking about this episode, where somebody made a comment about we're gonna get there, but I'm starting in the middle. The treatment of Janae this season and how they treat black women. And I kind of push back a little bit. Of course, that is true, how they do treat especially the dark skinned women. But I made a comment where I responded with, I do think that Love Island USA is one of the few franchises I can watch without holding my breath, where I don't think that it's because no, it's there. Listen, in life in America, your race will always play a factor, whether you choose to admit it or not. That's onto you. But I think that it's just a lot much better on Love Island USA. When they treat you however they treat you, it's just because they're equally shitty to everybody, kind
Hmm.
of. But I wanted to ask what your opinion is on that because I do know, like, we've had two dark skinned women win. Yes, afterwards, the story afterwards is a whole different thing. Maybe they use them to win, and that is the case. But I do think that black women do have a better time on Love Island USA. But I don't know if I'm revising history, and I was just gonna ask what your thoughts were on that.
The whole time you're talking, I was silent clapping for you because the feeling when Love Island UK starts to Love Island USA is like night and day because
Yeah,
they rarely have just one minority. UK, take note. Um, yes, I know the racial makeup of each country is different, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. Like, whatever. I think that's a weak excuse. But yeah, they usually have more than one minority, even not just black. So it doesn't feel more like we're on Aryan Island. Like, oh, I love blue eyes, blonde hair. That's my type. That's my only type. And I feel like they do a
mm,
better job at bringing in men that are at least willing to give other races aside from their own a
a
chance.
chance.
So whether it works or it
Yeah,
doesn't, and yes, of course, there are always people who are going to be users and like latch onto someone and then move on to their real type, quote unquote. But I feel that way less in the US than any other version I've watched. So that slight peace of mind, like Tayne said, there's always racism. Like, let's be for real. I don't know why people shy away from it. It's just the world we live in. But I am 100% with you that I can breathe easier. And usually when things happen on the USA version, I don't always feel like it's because of race immediately. Do you know what I mean? It could be personality
Yeah.
or whatever. When the UK, 9 out of 10 times it is race, but no one would say it. So I'm British. I
Yeah.
know how we operate. So with the whole undercover stealth racism, I like the one that you can see face up. Just let's be for real. So yeah, in that aspect, USA 100%. I'll take it over that.
Okay. So we'll go back to the beginning. What is your relationship with Love Island USA?
I'm trying to remember. Was season 1 Justine and Sally, or was that season 2?
No, that was season 2.
Who was in season 1?
Nobody that you would know. Nobody even
Okay.
wa-
Okay.
even
I
I
think
dropped season 1.
I think I must have watched it like probably 1 or 2 episodes. I was like, oh hell no. Oh, I do remember. I think I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and they were using British lingo, and I was just like, what the hell is this? They were saying stuff like mugged off, so it felt too much like a facsimile of the UK version with like I'm like, this doesn't work. It's the same way as like the US Office when it came from the UK to the US, the first season, I'm like, you're literally just copying it bar for bar. So why wouldn't we watch the original? It only got good when they discovered their own identity, you know? So I think I binned off season 1. Season 2, I watched the whole thing. I was really into it because I loved Justine, and I think Tayne and I watched it together. We discuss it all the time. Evil Johnny, Clueless Sally, all of that. It was fun. Season 3 for me, I really enjoyed the season because there was so much drama. But I think for me, I say to Tane all the time that stands have ruined everything in life. Everything created, they've ruined music, they've ruined TV, they've ruined movies. People just blindly form these weird stand cults, attack any perceived criticism. You can't even enjoy things in peace anymore. And I feel like with Love Island USA, it started in season 3 when it was the Trina versus Cash. That's season 3, right? Yeah, Trina versus Cash group, and it
Cachet.
was
Mhm.
Cachet, sorry. So
Mhm.
I call her Cash like we're mates. But yeah, that
Mhm.
whole thing, it just put me off to some extent. But I still enjoyed the season. But ever since then, I feel like it's bled through, even right up to this current season. I just hate what Stanning has done to media and art in general. It's just so irritating. It ruins everything. But yeah, so I don't think the other seasons, I feel like I kind of dipped in and out. I didn't really follow them. But the last full season I watched before this one was season 3.
Okay. So season 1 started. It was in Fiji. It was just bad luck from jump, and back then it was on CBS. So it rained every single day. Well, almost every single day.
Oh,
And it was just bad, and there was no chemistry. And I was just like, how long can I do this? And I was like, I can't. And then I quit. But y'all know me, I have FOMO, and I was like, I can't quit a reality show. Season 2 happened. It was COVID. They were on the rooftop of a Vegas hotel, and it was
yes.
like the most low budget thing you'd ever seen in your life. But it was COVID, and any semblance of normalcy. And then it was quite interesting. And then it got really sad because of the way they were treating Justine, like she didn't have
Yeah.
anyone. But low key, looking back with clear eyes, I mean, Justine was selfish. She did take the guy from somebody else, and she was like, I chose myself. She would have
That's
gone her
Love
own.
Island,
But
baby.
yeah. So, and then that was fun. And then season 3 was the whole Trina, Cachet, Cinco, all of that stuff. And that was the last season that was on CBS. And it was hosted by Ariel, who I think was fantastic as a host. I don't know why they let her go when Peacock took over. I'm so glad they took over. Season 4 was so good. It was,
Oh, do
if
I
you
have to
think
go
season
back and
five
watch?
was good, if you have the time, I will
Who's in it?
suggest season
Maybe I started
four.
it.
I
Who was
don't
in
know
season?
if you know anybody. The main black girl was like KK.
Yes, I
Then
remember. Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
had like Leo, who was the 21-year-old who actually had sex with. Sorry, am I reading the right thing? No, that is. I'm talking about season 5. Sorry, season 4
Oh,
is the one that had Zeta. The
Oh,
British.
okay, Zeta and Timmy. I did watch. I watched a bit
Yes,
of
Zita
that.
and
Yeah,
Timmy and Sydney and Isaiah and all that.
yeah.
That's season
I
four.
did
The
watch
one
some of
I'm
that.
describing was
Yeah.
season five. But anyway, the show got good. The show found its groove and all that. I will say my pet peeve that I tell Nana all the time is, and you touched on it a little bit, is I wish Love Island would just stand on its own as USA. There's no
Mm-hmm.
reason to have these people saying, Mug Dove, can I pull you for a chat? What is your type and all that? It's
Mm-hmm.
not like American. I actually don't like the fact that Ian Sterling is the narrator. We had a really pretty damn good narrator. He was funny. Ben, I think was his name. I'm not sure. But why would we switch it? Like, let's have our. Why are we saying toasties? I'm like, it's a grilled cheese sandwich. What is toasty? Who says that? And then
Cheese
even like whatever
toasty.
whatever. Whatever season that they brought Mara Higgins, who I loved in UK, as the social ambassador for whatever. Now she's the host of After Sun. But I'm like, we have enough people to choose from. Like from Jump, even before they brought her as a social media ambassador this season, I remember telling you there's Sally, there's Justine, at least they're well known, they won, even if you Zeta or somebody, but we have 4 seasons that we could pick people from. Why are we going across the pond to bring people from the UK? And I get it, people watch it on Hulu, but it's Love Island USA. So it's kind of like a pet peeve for me that it's still trying to lean heavily on the UK, but they're enough to stand on their own and they could completely make it American.
Yes, but I don't know if I 100% agree with you about Ian, because my controversial opinion is that Ian has been shit on the UK version for seasons now. He clearly doesn't give a shit anymore. His jokes are like very mid. He's phoning it in, you can tell. But and this season he has been killing it for me on the USA version. I don't know what vim he got and where it came from, but I think he's been far better on the US version than the UK version this season. Yeah, so yeah, that's my only disagreement. But everything else, I 100% agree with you. But I will say, I do, like you said, I understand why they do that because they're trying to pull from the popularity of the UK version. I honestly think I was really surprised by how popular the UK version was here because I didn't realize that that many people watched it. But
Oh
in
yeah.
my last job, I work with a lot of 20 something year olds in my last office and I loved it. But they were all obsessed with Love Island. That was like the first thing they wanted to talk to me about when I heard I was British, and we'd all like book a conference room and watch it together. And like I hear about it from a lot of people, and I'm always surprised like, wow, you watch Love Island? But yeah, and I think it has grown as it's on Hulu and whatever in popularity. So I think that's why they were trying to steal even more UK elements, but it just doesn't work. I'm with you. You're good enough now that you don't need it. So
Yeah, and they have enough personalities. Like at first I was like, if they didn't have enough and it was still growing, I would understand. But they have a strong enough,
yeah,
pool to choose from. And the exciting part for me also was like a bunch of the Love Island people hopped on over to the challenge, but
yeah,
I don't think we can do that anymore because it's now on Peacock. So it's not on the CBS and it's not on the Viacom. So that makes me
yeah.
sad because
Love Island
this
Games was
season,
good though.
this season would have a lot of people that could make it on the challenge. That would be so great. The Challenge USA specifically, because the Challenge USA was another franchise that spun off that was just CBS shows. So not the
Mm.
main challenge, but like the Challenge USA. So we don't know what's
Oh,
going to
okay. So,
that.
so there's a difference between the challenge and the challenge USA.
Oh, we have many spin-offs. There's the
Oh my
Challenge, which is the
gosh.
main one on MTV. There's
Yes,
the
I know the
Challenge
challenge.
USA that's on CBS. There's the Challenge World Games that was on Paramount Plus. There's the
Oh my
Challenge All
gosh.
Stars that's supposed to be all the older people, like from the real world, Road Rules or
Yeah.
whatever. But now they're switching it up and putting newer people. But that's just, again, another conversation.
And they're
So,
all on
anyways,
different
Challenge USA.
streaming platforms. Oh, you see how TV is so
Um,
messed up these days.
I mean, who's complaining? I'm watching them all. But
We're complaining. I know you would follow the challenge to the ends of the earth, but we're complaining, okay? Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Love Island USA, not USA, Love Island Games was a pleasant surprise. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's always interesting. I feel like I've answered my question. I usually wonder what it's like for people to watch like Love Island games or shows that like the traders where you don't know their original shows.
Hmm.
So it would have been interesting to see what it's like for people who didn't watch. Like for us, like I watched Australia, US, UK, whatever, and I think I watched a little bit of France or Sweden. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So you know where they're coming from, so you can get context. But I don't think it matters to the
No,
enjoyment of
it
the show.
doesn't.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So is that okay? So how do you feel about Ariana being the host? How do you rate her as a host?
So again, guys, this is why I always say I'm not really a reality show person because I don't watch any of the super popular ones like Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, all of that. So I had no idea who this Ariana person was. But Tayne gave me a whole primer of I didn't know because I kept hearing the whole Sandoval name like on social media. I always say I've absorbed reality show knowledge via osmosis in social media. Like I always know what's going on in the Housewives. Never watched an episode apart from Atlanta. I think I've watched like 6 episodes. That's it. I've never watched any other Housewives, but I know names. And I didn't know Sandoval, whatever, was from Vanderpump Rules. So Tane gave me a whole rundown of the whole scandal. And I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. But I'm still not going to watch it. But I think, number one, she's absolutely gorgeous. And I don't care, call me shallow. I don't sign up for Love Island to watch ugly people. God forgive me. I want the pretty, pretty people on my TV screen. That's what Love Island is for. So, number one, gorgeous. And she seems really nice, like just a kind of kind person, like warm.
Mm-hmm.
She seems happy to be there. She's not doing too much. She lets them shine. She's always got the fits on. She puts that shit on. So yeah, like I don't have context for her at all, but I enjoy her every time she steps on my screen. Yeah.
I'm always so fascinated that part of why she got this job was just a line that she had with her boyfriend on the show where he was berating, well, to me, berating her and saying she doesn't want to do anything. And she's like, but you don't want to sit there and watch hours of Love Island with me. And this is literally how she got this role. And they featured her a little last season, and now she's the full host. Like you said, at the end of the day, we're all shallow people, and Ariana is just gorgeous. Her outfits have been 10 over 10 each
Yeah.
time. She's nailing it. And it's always better when you're an actual fan of the show and you're like invested. I'm actually watching After Sun this season, and it is kind of fun. And she features all the time, and she's very open about how she feels. She's like, she's a Janae fan, and she just wants to, she likes
Ooh.
Cordell.
So she
She likes
gives her
Cordell.
opinion. Interesting.
Yes,
Okay, maybe I
yes,
do
and she
have to
says,
watch After Sun
what
then.
she
Oh,
feels.
okay,
You know
maybe I'll
Mora.
tune in. I'll tune in.
Mara is
Yeah,
very
Bora.
open. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of fun. Okay, so I feel like I'm sure there are people yelling at us right now because we're how many minutes in and we still haven't like started talking about this season. So we're just gonna dive into the season, and I don't even know where to start from. Okay, and I should say this, guys. By the time you get this, because Love Island is every day except Wednesday and Saturday, I, stuff must have happened. By the time it happened, like the latest episode that we've watched is Friday's episode where
Connor's just
Connor
been dumped. Yeah.
has just been dumped as he should. But by the time you see this, Casamora is probably happening. Another couple's probably dumped, and something exciting. Leah's probably in another person. We don't know, but just to give you
Miguel's
a
found
heads up,
another love of his life. Yeah.
that's where we are. So we're probably just gonna talk about the different characters, and you pick. Where do you want to start from?
Can I start? I'm jumping right in. Sorry, with Leah. I am jumping right
Okay,
in. She is the main
okay,
character. She is like I do not like this girl, but I want her to stay on my TV screen. So that's
okay.
where I am with like, because I'm not opposed to a villain, quote unquote, on reality TV, but I need you to be messy, move storylines along. Like, give me a show. Don't come here and waste my time. It's the same way I like people like Ekin all of that. She gives me that kind of energy. So I don't like her. I don't think I'd want to be her friend or anything. But I want her on my TV screen because she has brought the drama from day one. So yeah, that's why I want to start with her. This whole current argument about her participating in sending Rob, what was her name, Andrea, home.
Andrea.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, girl. But yeah, so that's why I want to start. What do you think of Leah?
All right. I don't like Leah either, but she's great TV.
Mhm.
And that scares me because then it feels like the producers are going to do anything they can to leave her in
Yep.
the show. And I don't know what that's going to do for the show.
Yep.
I can recognize that I don't like Leah, but she's great TV. But there are Leah stands, and that's very like, how's the best way to say,
Concerning.
reminiscent of the world we live in. Like you
Yep.
just decide like we're just gonna not acknowledge any other things that are being done,
Yep.
and just say I'm gonna stand by her thick or thin. And it's kind of crazy to me. Leah
Yep.
has said it with her own self. I am a bad person.
You know what I don't miss at all? That vicious week before a period. The cravings, the irritability, and just generally feeling off. Now it's easier to manage PMS with estro control. Happy Mammoth, the company that created Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to making women's lives easier. And that means using only science backed ingredients that have been proven to work for women. They make no compromise when it comes to quality, and it shows.
Hormone Harmony contains science backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. Now, here's the beauty about adaptogens they help the body adapt to any stressors, like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. For a limited time, you can get 15% off on your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code AltacallMAFS at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code AltacallMAFS for 15% off today.
Yep.
I am
She
a
says
bad
she's
person.
messy. Yep.
So
The thing is that,
honestly,
do you understand what I'm saying about how stands have ruined everything? Because they don't understand that you don't have to deify somebody. You don't. You can enjoy their presence and even want them around, but it doesn't mean you have to treat them as God. Like, please be for real. Oh, but yeah.
I I don't understand. Okay, as a person, I can understand Leah. And then part of the thing to remember is these people are really young. A lot of them are
Mhm.
like, listen, Cordell is like 21 or something, 22,
Yeah.
and something like that. So they're really young. So that's fine. I don't fault them for mistakes or anything or whatever. But at the very core, I don't understand how Leah's brain works. I understand that she needs dysfunction to function. Fair enough. That's fine. But maybe I am biased because I am Team Janae. I don't like how everyone is brushing by the whole thing that happened with Janae and Connor. And I feel like I have to move the story back into my first inkling into how this season was going to be great was when Janae dumped K.
Yeah.
Did I forget his name? What's his name?
Koi.
K
Yeah.
or Coy?
Koi. Koi.
Coy.
Uh-huh.
Dumped Coy and chose Connor. I didn't think she was gonna do it, but I'm so glad that she did because that motherfucker came in thinking I'm 6'8" and that's it. Big feet, big meat, and it's true, and that's it.
Every
He
time
had
he
no
opened his
personality.
mouth, I died inside. Oh.
Well, that's the problem. He never opened his mouth.
Yeah.
So he just was there like a statue. He was reminiscent of Cinco, but Cinco at least gave us something a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything. You're not saying anything. Janae was practically begging you, and then she dumped him, and I was so glad. And then Connor fooled us into thinking that, oh, he was, actually there. And then all of a sudden switched to Leah. Now, here's my issue. I don't know if this is real or if the internet is who willed it into existence that the Powerpuff Girls, Janae, Serena, and Leah are this trio that are like really close or whatever. Now, if that's your girl, I would think you would handle it differently or a
Yep.
little bit more delicately, but she didn't. She went straight. She let Connor disrespect Janae, let Connor say all the things, and then she started talking to her crazy. And then it's like, Serena, where you at? Serena is a whole different thing. We need to get there at some point. But I'm just like, why are you doing this to someone that you allegedly care about, and you were just going on and on about how Rob was treating you. So why? That's where I'm a little confused. Everything else I can kind of forgive Leah for, but we all say this. It's almost like when you say, "Oh, everyone talks shit about each other, but you don't talk shit about your friend."
Yep. With
Why did you do that?
with Leah, again, I think that's when I started disliking her from the very beginning, damn near. When I'm just like, why are you so clingy with Rob? It's been like 2, 3 days. She was spiraling out every time he even spoke to another girl. And I'm just like, damn, you really got your claws in quick. I don't get it. It's literally been days. And then she didn't this what she was demanding of other girls, she never once paid the same courtesy to Janae, and it really annoyed me that nobody called her out on it. And I'm like, am I seeing
Yes.
something that, like, are they not showing us something? Because she never once spoke to her about Connor ever.
Yes.
Like, even to say,
Yes.
hey, I'm thinking. And I'm just like, so why do you get to clump around this villa being mad that Rob is breathing the same air as other girls? But as soon as you realize you're not going to be picked and you're like, oh, shit, I need to find a man. Okay, let me steal Janae's man. You don't even chat to her about it, nothing. I think that's what I hate about Leah. She does all these shady stuff, but nobody calls her on it, or when they do, she plays victim. I'm just like, no, you're a
Yeah.
villain. Just stand in it. Yeah. So that's when I started disliking her from the very beginning, and it was because of that exact same situation.
Yeah, because she's kind of doing the same thing now to live with Miguel.
Yep.
And again, it's not like don't explore, but you're the one who keeps saying, like, you should have a conversation, you should do this or whatever. You don't have conversations with these people. And then even in After Sun, when Connor was on there, no one, I think, I forget the name of the girl. She was on Love Island Australia and was really loud, but she was on Love Island Games
Yeah,
also.
the dark
She
haired one, the short one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She was gonna, oh, Connor is a nice guy. And then I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, do you see what he did to Janae? Like, why is no one even saying, like, that was not treated well? They were
Where
asking
did
her, do
it
you
come
think, like,
from, by the way? It came out of the blue for me. I'm just like, why are
exactly.
you chatting shit about her? Even if you're not interested in her, what was all those side comments at the recoupling, all of that? And that's what makes me feel like, well, we're not showing something. Because it came out of the blue for me.
Yeah. He's like, this was not a hard decision at all. Like, why? Is that necessary? And then you couldn't check him to be like, don't talk about my friend like that. Because watch
Hmm.
when Janae was with Hakeem and Hakeem was talking back at whoever it was, and Janae just quickly checked and was like, don't argue with women. Like, don't do that.
Yes.
So it's just, ugh, it's just really insane. And I, I don't know what is going on with Miguel, but I have
Those
roped
two
my
can't be
husband into
together.
watching. Wait, I roped my husband into watching Love Island USA with me, and he thinks like they're great. He said they're both terrible people. They should just be
Yes.
together
That's why they
and be
can't be
terrible
together. I'm
together.
sorry. It will be too much. Every episode
and
will be the Leah and Miguel show. No.
and they can give each other a dose of their own medicine. I think the only thing that I really, really wanted out of this was like after Andrea, I think we should talk about that next. Andrea was dumped. I just really wanted her and Rob to not get back together. But I can't trust Rob on anything, even though he says the door is shut. This is the man that said he was also going to leave. He's still here. So, um, that's
I
all
shouldn't
I
laugh.
wanted
I just remembered his
from,
breakdown.
yeah, from
I
that.
need to
So,
get right back into that villa. Oh my goodness, what a joker.
I think we should talk about Rob then, because honestly, yes, Rob was in Casa Amor, and I was honestly trying to remember who was it that he was trying to get in. It didn't work. Anyways, the person got back to their person, and they're still together and all that. So I wonder what they saw in Rob that he was the one that they brought back this season. But what are your thoughts on Rob in general?
You know, when I first saw, because I didn't remember him at all from the last, but when I first saw him, I'm like, wow, this is the blandest looking man I've ever seen in my life. But I don't know. 4 episodes later, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. He is attractive. Because I don't know
Yeah.
how it switched. Maybe the more, oh, what does this say about me? The more terrible he became, I was like, oh, okay, I see it. I think it's his eyes. He's got great eyes. But I thought he was
Hmm.
so bland. That's what I didn't understand, why everyone was going mad over him. I'm like, over him? Like, what? What am I missing? But he is another person I want on my TV because he is TV gold. The most ridiculous human being I've seen on TV for a very long time. So dramatic, full of shit, but sincerely believes the crap he's spewing. Like, I just think it's great. Him and Leah are like a match made in hell. I actually think I would prefer them together than her and Liam. I think it would be really funny because they're both extremely, extremely dramatic people. But I will say I went off Rob big time with the way he reacted to Janae in particular when they got rid of his little girlfriend of what, 3 days? How long was she in that villa? 3, 4 days?
4.
And yeah, I'm like, I it made me so uncomfortable the way they were all shouting and ganging up on Janae. So yeah, that put me off him, and I haven't forgiven him or Aaron. I'm sorry, I know everyone has, but no, it left such a bad taste in my mouth. I hated it. So yeah, that's my opinion on Rob.
I think the best way to describe how I feel about Rob is I don't hate him as much as everyone else seems to online, but I
Mhm,
understand why people hate him.
mhm.
Because I say this, I feel like all the time I see this every time I watch Rob on screen, I say fear Rob. Like Rob is one of the scariest kind of men
Yep.
to have out there because he is so smart. He's such a silent gaslighter. Like
Mhm.
he's just like laying everything down, setting you up and all that.
Mhm.
But in the middle of that, there are some facts in there laid out in there.
Yep.
Because I will say this, in the whole Leah Rob thing, I didn't think he was exactly like wrong. He did shut down Liv. That
Yeah.
whole thing was weird. Liv came in like a rocket, and then Liv just chose him. That is the one time I will say Rob gave her nothing,
Yeah,
and
I
she
was
still
so
chose
shocked she
him.
picked him. I was so shocked she picked him because I'm like, he told you in your conversation that you have nothing in common. It was so obvious.
Yeah,
He literally went ape shit when she said she liked Ed Sheeran, and then you guys sat in silence for how long, and then you picked him. I was so confused, but yeah,
which, by the way, is my biggest gripe against Rob, is the fact that he thinks Ed Sheeran is shit.
I know.
But he said, but she chose him. And then Leah kept saying, no, he must have done something. He didn't do this. Like, I don't trust him. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, he hasn't given you a reason. Like, of course, don't trust him, but he hasn't given you a reason to do that. And then he took her by the dock. But even then, I was like, is this completely wrong? Because if he did it in the open, Liv would be upset.
Yep.
And he took her to the dock and all that kind of stuff. So maybe when he was wrong though was when he was with Liv, he was saying, I do want to get to know both of you.
Yeah,
So
when you
maybe
clearly
that's where
didn't.
it is wrong. But these people on Love Island are so hypocritical because they're
Yeah,
all like, it's fine if you talk to people, but when you do talk to people, someone gets mad. Now the
it's
magic
never
trigger
fine.
words is 50-50. No one say
Hmm.
that anymore. So, I mean, they
My
got
thing is,
together.
I don't
Anyways,
understand how people get so territorial about people they've known 2 days, 1 day, 3 days. I'm just like, give your head a wobble. Like, please be serious. So, yeah,
well,
I get it.
the only reason why it's not so weird to me anymore is a lot of these reality shows where you're cut off from the world, it does
Yeah.
move fast. Yes, not Love Island, but in other shows we've seen people where they fell. There's a couple that's Big Brother, Bailey and Swaggy. He was evicted really early and they met and all that kind of stuff. In the time that he was evicted and she went to the jury house, she got pregnant.
Dang.
And yeah, she lost the
No,
baby or whatever,
I
but
know it
it's
moves quick. I do know it moves quick, but
yeah.
I'm talking about like 1 day, two, even a week. I could understand, but like, come on, like Rob both tears over someone you've been chatting to for 3, 4 days. Like, come on. But yeah,
I don't
that's what I
to be
mean.
honest, I'm surprised by myself, but honestly I don't think it's weird.
Mm,
I know. I get it. I know how people can think it's weird, but I think like if you're in such a heightened environment, you're not really in real life. You're not
mm,
facing all the other things. You don't have the distractions of a TV, a book, a thing or whatever. It's just this all the time. All the I can kind of see it.
yeah.
How that happens. I haven't been in that situation, but I just imagine that I can
No, I
understand
get
how
it.
heightened it is.
I get it. My yeah, yeah. Please continue. Sorry.
So, okay, so he has a better connection with Andrea, but how you know this guy is playing the game? In everything he does, it is always so dramatic. Because when they said, and that's the other good thing about this season, they're so creative in all the ways that they're creating drama, in all the challenges, and how they're introducing bombshells. Like 10 over 10, no notes. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like
Yeah.
the way they brought in Andrea and Nicole, like
Yeah.
blindfolded, handcuffed, pick, and then they came in kissing. The way they brought in Miguel, like in the little kiss, and Aaron didn't even get to kiss any of the girls. Like it's amazing, really. So
So before you can say, I will say this season to me has been one of the best use of games in any Love
yeah,
Island franchise I've seen, because it actually moves the storyline forward. Like whoever did that, clap for yourself. They've done great. But yeah.
and a combination of the fact that this cast is perfection and they understood the assignment, because there is
Hmm.
no reason why you should have a kissing challenge and Kayla is like, you know what, I'm gonna kiss Hakeem, not even Aaron. And then Hannah, no, sorry, whoever it is that she kissed, and then Hannah is like, you know what? I'm gonna kiss the guy that you just got mad at me that I'm with, and she kissed Hakeem, and she said, I thought it was funny. Like,
Yeah.
how can we ask for more? Really, how can we ask for more?
The
Because they
chaos
could
we
easily,
like.
yeah, they could easily stay safe, but they're not staying safe. They're not so worried about, oh, what is the public thinking? How would they see me? My endorsement. Everyone is being selfish, and it makes for better TV, honestly.
Yes.
So I give
Yes.
them props also for not being so self-conscious about what people are saying about them. So anyways, yes, so Andrea gets picked, they have a stronger connection and all that yada yada yada. And then they do a thing where most of the people seem to think that production did that to save Janae. Do you think that is the case?
No, not at
Because
all.
oh,
Those girls were never gonna vote Janae off. Oh, you mean like they made the girls pick to save
yes,
Janae?
we have
Maybe.
never had that. Nana, we've never had that in any of the history of any of the franchises. It's always opposite genders. The guys at that
Oh,
time would have voted Janae off ASAP without even thinking
I
about it.
feel like it's happened on Love Island UK. I'm pretty sure it has. When they have their own people choose, it's not. It hasn't always been the opposite. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Love Island UK.
I think they've had the couples who are safe pick, but I don't remember them having the girls pick a girl and the boys pick a boy.
I'll
But
check, but yeah, I
if
feel
I'm
like I have
wrong,
seen it. Yeah.
okay.
But
Yeah, because I
anyway,
don't
either
remember
way,
that
I'm just
happening.
happy it made Janae stay because, to be real though, the person I think if they clearly weren't gonna pick their friend, it should have been Nicole that went. To be honest with
Absolutely.
you, yeah.
Absolutely. Because I was looking at it and I was like, well, if we're being real, the person that should have left is Janae, because that's what we usually say. If there's no connection, even though I will say my mind got changed after the whole thing, I started thinking about it and I was like, you know, if you do have a connection, maybe you do need to stay because you're in different states, and then
Hmm.
you do get to figure out how your relationship is going to go, see if you're going to get tested, versus if you don't have a connection, you don't know if you're going to actually have a connection, and we don't want to see this turn into Friend Island or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways,
With that
so
choice, though, Tayne, I feel like there was always going to be a loser because you can make an argument for absolutely any choice they made. It wasn't ever
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
a clean winner for any of them. So yeah.
Yes, yes. So I do think, like, if we were going by the usual, the past or whatever, it should have been Janae, but Janae was not going anywhere. And then to keep it easy, Nicole was middle ground. Yes, she just kissed Miguel, but so what? Like,
Yeah.
so what? And then she's with Kendall, where honestly at that point I was like, is this a convenience thing or is it not? I
Hmm.
don't know.
I
So
didn't
that
feel
is
so
who they should have
for
voted.
Andrea one bit though. Sorry, because people, I think maybe people don't watch Love Island or the contestants that come on. It is, I would say, is 70% a social game and 20% finding love or a connection. If you are popular with your islanders, your co-islanders, you will stay through to the end. It's always been proven. Like you need to work on your friendships. You can't come in, ignore all the other girls. We never saw her talking to anyone else apart from the girl she came in with, Nicole and Rob. So of course they weren't gonna bend over backwards to keep you in the house. Like, you should have worked better on your social relationships. That's that. So I didn't feel sorry for her. I'm sorry.
Let me give a devil's advocate because she was an after sun and she was
Hmm.
talking about yes that she spent all her time with Rob, but who would want to spend time with the girls when most of them are Leah's friends? And she said all the time Leah just kept saying bad things about the guy that she was in a relationship with. She even pulled her aside to be like, oh, like you should be careful. He says one thing, he doesn't. And then when she's in the makeup room, she starts talking loudly and she's there. And she was like, she's lucky that she's mature because she just kept her cool and was like, you know what? She's hurt. Let her have it. What would be the fun in going there when all the girls are also like on Leah's side and her friends? What is she gonna say that wouldn't feel like it's like anti Leah or whatever? And again, 4 days and it's like a new relationship, but oh, you just want to hang out with the person and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying she shouldn't have. I'm just saying like devil's advocate. Is there a side to that? Like, who wants to hang around the girls when all they're doing is bad mouthing the
I
guy they
get
with?
it, but sometimes you have to force it anyway. Because we've seen it happen. This isn't the first time it's happened where like a new bombshells come in and the girls isolate them, they're bitchy to them. But you sometimes you just have to force your way in or even blow things up to clear the air. Like, hey, you guys, I feel like you've been really nasty to me since I came in. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, we're all here to find out, blah, blah, blah. Like, force it out in the open. Sometimes with bullies, not sometimes, most of the time with bullies, when they're confronted, they back down because they don't expect you to have a backbone about things like that. But yeah, I'm not saying I blame her, but I just didn't feel sorry for her. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Rob makes this whole thing about I'm leaving. It's gonna be three. It's not gonna be that. It's gonna be that. Guys, the tears Andrea was feeling, yes, she liked him, but what she's really crying about is that she has lost her endorsement opportunities
Hmm.
because the longer you stay, the longer you have a better time of making a name for yourself. And then Rob was doing all that stuff. There wasn't an actual tear that actually dropped out of his eyes. So that man wasn't gonna go anywhere. He just likes making it. And then he turned around and was like, "Do you think I should leave?" You don't ask the question. If you want to do it, you do it. If you really were gonna be for love, you will. But I will say that ever since she left, he does seem checked out,
Yeah.
and it's just not like fun. He's just there with the whole Leah thing. That whole conversation with Leah, he wasn't definite, like I don't want to be there. He was saying, oh, I care about you too, I did this, but I don't know if that's Rob calculating, like just in case the girls are going to pick, she'll pick
Yes.
me and I live to see another day.
That's 100%
And
what it is.
okay,
That's what
and
I
I
think.
think she was trying to draw something out of him, like what are you thinking, what are, and then man said, I'm thinking about eels.
That cracked me up so much. This is what I said. This man has to stay on my TV. Like, where do you find a character like this? He has to stay on my TV. I'm sorry. At least for a few more weeks. Because what? Do you know what my thing is? I feel like Rob can't stand Leah. I feel like he deeply dislikes her, and he's playing the long game, like you said. Like the
Yeah,
whole thing with her claiming she took a back seat in getting Andrea gone. Okay, girl. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was pulling her into the net, into a trap, and she fell for it. So yeah, I feel like he doesn't like her as a person. I think he
yeah,
sees right through her, and anytime he shows her affection is a game.
yeah.
100%.
I think that's true. I mean, going back to the trap that you mentioned, she did fall for it, but she did lie. But even
Yes.
I questioned what I was watching, and I feel like we're bouncing around, but there's just so much to talk about.
Yeah, there
But
is.
I do
Can I say I
think,
went back and watched the scene and wrote down exactly what she said, by the way? Because I'm
okay,
like, this girl is lying to me. Okay, so
okay,
she says verbatim, I think like certain things Andrea has said to the girls has made me feel like she may or may not be here for the right reasons. And then Liv says, but Rob will be walking around upset because he has a connection with her. Then Kayla said, but also Lee and Rob have a connection. And then Liv says, do we punish somebody for finding love or do you punish somebody for playing the game like we're meant to and exploring connections? And then we see them all close their eyes and vote between Nicole and Andrea. And Leah votes to get out Andrea. Like, what are you talking about? You weren't involved and took a back seat. Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. And even when Kaylor says, but Leah's here and they've always had, you didn't say anything like, but I don't
nothing.
want that to be a factor in our
Exactly.
voting or whatever. Like, that's where she and Rob is similar. They lay the
Hmm.
ground and then they hide their hands after
Yep.
they throw stones and make it seem like, no, that's no. Because honestly, I was very surprised that she was down to save Janae.
Yes. But you know one, I know we're like jumping again, like we said. This past episode, not that it didn't put, because I still love Janae, but it kind of solidified my dislike of, sorry, spoiler alert, I really don't like Serena at all. I did in the beginning,
Hmm.
but this past week, I've actually decided she's my least like girl. I cannot stand her. I
Hmm.
think she's not a nice person. But the way Leah was talking to Liv was a fucking piss take. You called the girl over because you were like, come on, equivocating with Rob, and he called you out. Like, you're making it look one way when it was really the other. You're pulling yourself out of the equation. All the girls chose who they chose. Just stand on that. It's not that deep. Rob will just have to get over it. You call over Liv to back you up, and then you start swearing at her and talking to her like a dickhead. And nobody
Yeah.
stepped in when she was doing all that fuck off, da da da. And Liv, to me, I feel like she handled that so well because I would have either slapped the shit out of you or walked away. She still was like, don't talk to me like that. And Leah doubled down. Nobody stood up for her. As soon as Leah starts her typical voice raising because she knows she's wrong, so her only
Yeah.
fallback is to create like drama, amateur theatre scene, her little handmaiden Serena starts running over, and no one's talking to my girl like that. No one's talking to my girl like that. You don't even know what's going on. Liv was minding her business and was dragged into this. And then it's like they were all ganging up on Liv, who did absolutely nothing wrong. Liv just doesn't like shady stuff. She likes everything out in the open. That's it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it put me off Serena, and I don't think I'll recover because I was already kind of, I'd go off her the whole egg situation, which maybe we can talk about, and I went back. I'm like, okay, cool. They squashed it. But this for me was the last straw. I don't like that girl at all. She can go next.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I'm not a Serena fan, but it's always so hard to
I
rag
know.
on
I know it
women.
feels like a
But
betrayal, but she's not nice. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
She's not.
it's just not. So, and that's the thing. Listen, I wasn't a fan of Liv, but the one thing you wouldn't say about Liv, Liv stands on business, and Liv stands
Yes.
on her.
She's not
And
a
she was just
liar.
saying, and the main point that she had was, I don't care how Leah's trying to spin it. You can't say I was
Took
trying
a
to take a
back
back
seat.
seat.
Yeah.
That was very clear on what you said and tried to spin or whatever. You did not take a back seat. You were
Yep.
talking and all that stuff. And if you all agreed, and I remember that scene very well where Liv said, so we're all going to stand together and say we
Hmm.
made that choice. She didn't even vote for Andrea.
Thank
And she said,
you.
oh, we all stood together. We all made the decision together. Now, you who actually voted for her, you're now saying you took a back seat. That's
Yeah.
not a unifying thing. And that's where Serena needs to be a good friend. You need to tell your friend when they're acting crazy.
Thank
Like,
you.
even with us in our personal lives, if things are happening, I'll be like, hey, Nana, this might be
Hmm.
this or whatever. What is the point of being a friend if you're not
Thank
going to tell them?
you.
She's just jumping
I
in
was
and
like,
saying,
we
like,
would never be
we're not.
friends if you couldn't tell me I was behaving like a dickhead when I was being a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
She's like, what we're not going to do is pile on. It's not piling on, but you're the one who even actually said in the game that your friend is toxic. So
Yes.
you should know where all that is coming from. That being said, Rob knew what he was doing, and
Oh,
there's
he
a
did.
reason why that episode he called Kayla and Liv separately. I was like, oh, I don't. Let's not tell anybody about this conversation, but yeah. But he was laying the ground because he knew the top people. Liv is the mouthpiece. Liv is the person that you go to and you make things happen, and he wanted them to turn on her. And
You
then the
know
other
what though?
flip
This
side,
is why I'm saying that he doesn't like Leah.
yeah,
He knew exactly what he was
yeah,
doing because he didn't
no,
want
he
her
knew.
to have time to get her story together because he knows she's a
Yes,
liar and a manipulator. So he wanted to spring it on her.
yeah, and and flipping around to guys, I think we're not gonna. I don't think we should apologize anymore. We're jumping around because there's so many
Yeah,
episodes that we're trying to load in,
yeah,
and this goes around to Aaron because once that happened, Aaron hugged Liv and was like, "You did so good." I cannot, for the life of me, understand how far up Rob's
Rob's
ass this man
ass.
is in.
Yeah.
Like on when Andrea left, he shed more tears than Rob.
I mean, Aaron
He's just
crying
crying
like
because his best
that's every
friend.
day. Because in the traitors, I'm just like, damn, is this man gonna cry every day, not knowing? Oh, it wasn't just the pressure cooker of the traitors. He literally just cries every single day
Yeah, yeah.
over something. Yeah, that's a
And for
true
those who
love
don't,
connection. Him and Rob.
yeah. Ariana said that on After Sun.
Oh, she
Ariana
did.
said,
That's
if
so funny.
yeah, I'm telling you, they're so honest. She's just like, if Rob could couple up with, I mean, if Aaron could couple up with Rob, I think that's who he really would couple up with. Was what she said. She was like, she also said that she didn't think that Rob was gonna leave, and I know she was holding back. I think she wanted to say like he reminds me so much of my ex, but meaning Sandoval, but I don't think she could say that or whatever. But for those who don't know, Erin is the winner of Traders UK season 1. Yes,
Yes, it was season
season
one.
one. Erin is the one who won season 1. So in some ways, I'm wondering how much of it is Erin playing a game, how much of it is not. Because on the flip side, you could look at it at Erin is trying to sabotage all the other people.
Aaron is
Him and
100%
Kayla,
playing the game. I don't think him
okay,
and Kayla like each other as much as they're pretending to. I think they realize there's currency in being a day one couple. Every season of Love Island, there's that couple that we know don't like each other as much as they're pretending to, but they know the narrative. Day one couples, they could probably win. They know 100%. I'm not buying their so called love story. I'm sorry. I'm a cynic when it comes to those two. So, yeah.
which is my other gripe that I mentioned at the top of the episode, making it international. I'm not a fan of them bringing international people on the show. Let
Nope.
them go to their own Love Islands. Love Islands UK needs a bombshell. Why is Miguel not in UK?
Like,
Like,
Miguel's better looking than probably any man in the last what 3 seasons. Look at the guys, I'm sorry, but there's such a famine of beauty in this season's Love Island UK. And I'm like, and you finally found good looking British people and you're wasting them on an island in Fiji when they should be in Mallorca with their own people, okay?
yeah.
Like,
So
come
I'm
on.
not a fan of this because even with Kaylor and all that, yes, he said he's gonna move. Everyone likes to talk like immigration is not a thing on reality TV, but okay. But I'm just like, how are they gonna make this happen? Even in Love Island games, Justine and
And
Jack, we
Jack,
all know it
yeah.
was right. He's not here. They're not. What is that gonna happen? So it doesn't help with feeding the fantasy, even though we know it's not true. Like you're in two different opposite sides of the ocean, so
Liv is even
it's
worse,
not.
Tayne. Liv is even worse. She's
Yeah,
even further away. Like, let's be for real. You
yeah.
couldn't even make a UK Australia relationship work, but even though the UK is full of Australians, but yeah. I like Liv, by the way. I know you said she wasn't your favorite, but she's really grown on me and she's now one of my faves. I was very cool on her at the beginning, but from like episode 4 or 5, I'm like, you know what? She speaks her mind, and sometimes that's what you need on reality TV. But yeah.
Why she's not a favorite? She's grown on me, but my problem with her is like she's like the Uma of the UK. They're not here to find love.
Yeah.
It's just vibes. They're not connecting with anyone. They're just gonna fake it or whatever. And for some reason, everyone keeps gravitating and picking Liv. I did feel
Yeah.
for her when Miguel says it was
Yeah, that
just a
was
sexual
nasty.
attraction. I know he's being honest, but that's not nice to hear.
And
And
I feel like
everyone
it's
just
his
seems to go
delivery.
to.
It wasn't
Yeah,
nice.
it was so nonchalant and so
Hmm.
like blasé about it. And anyways, but everyone just keeps coupling up with her, but there's not really any long-term thing. The only thing is like maybe there'll be like a Whitney and Logan kind of situation. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Can I
we'll see.
say their treat? What you said is 100% correct. I feel like some people are trying, maybe even in the villa, are trying to kind of cast Janae as like the undesirable of the season. Do you know? Like she
Yeah.
hasn't. But I actually think it's Liv. Really and truly, if you deep it, like every person she's picked, they've then gone on to go to someone else. Or like people make pit stops at her, but I haven't seen a single person that's come in that's been all about her at all. So I
Yeah.
actually do think she is the female. quote unquote undesirable of this season, which I'm sure it'll change because she's a pretty girl. But yeah, yeah. So
But Liv is stressed because every time we see Liv, she's eating something. She always has her snacks. I don't know what happened on Friday. She was going somewhere and she packed all her snacks and was walking away and she's breaking out and she's out. And I'm like, she's stressed. Y'all are stressing her because she's the
yes.
spokesperson of of the house.
I know, because no one's to speak that much. She should get on the plane back home. She's got the shortest journey out of everyone, so she could go home easily. But I enjoy Liv. I feel like I wouldn't mind if she stayed for a little bit longer. Um,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Can we go back to Serena, please? Because I don't feel like I was
Yes.
done. Another thing I noticed in just the last episode I watched, which I think I was a bit iffy on her anyway, what solidified it for me, when Leah was quote unquote breaking up with Connor, even though she treated him like a dickhead, but I don't feel sorry for him because what goes around comes around. But she took like, I don't like how gleeful she was about how Leah was. It's just like, hey, Leah's dumping Connor right now, like watching them on the balcony. And I was just like, girl, like you've got your own issues to worry about. I don't like the way she's treating Cordell. I just really want Cordell to wake up. His boys have tried to tell him. I don't know what hold, because even when I watch their conversations, I don't understand why he's like so like on her. But I guess also he also doesn't really have many other options, even though from the looks of it, Casamore may be a different thing, and I really hope he leaves her for good. Because I love Cordell. He's so young and you can tell from the way he acts, but he seems to have such a kind heart. And from the very first episode, I'm just like, he's the one like I probably want to hang out with the most out of all the boys. He just seems like such a cool person. So yeah.
You can. He lives in your city.
Oh yeah, he does. he should never do that hairstyle again because he looks so much better with his hair out. I'm just like, oh damn, this man's really attractive. Yeah, but yeah, I would love to be his friend, baby brother
I
style. But yeah,
mean, the man shares DNA with Odell Beckham.
I
Damn.
know that man is fine as
Anyways,
hell. But anyway, and they look alike. They actually look a lot alike.
yes, yes. I think what makes Cord I almost called him Odell. What makes Cordell great is also his downfall. Cordell is 24.
Yeah,
21.
I'm
21.
like
He
24.
keeps
Yeah,
saying 22. He keeps
yeah,
saying 22, but he says 21. No one, they're all older. But
yeah.
again, I say this, but Leo last season was also 21. Like this man was literally still in school. So he still
He's a lover
had
boy.
people. And I think, and that Serena is never gonna like him because she's never gonna get over that conversation about what do you want in your future. And this man said endorsements, and he wants to do it for Cheez-Its
Yeah,
specifically. They're
he's
not,
21.
she's not. He could have lied. Hell, you could have just said, I want to be a business owner. Oh, I want to be a teacher. But to just sit in there, nothing shows your generation than endorsements. And then,
Hey,
if nothing else, he was specific. He said, Cheez-Its, there's a goal.
he's probably grown up watching his brothers sign endorsements and know exactly how much money he could get for endorsements. So that's been his goal. He doesn't have much upstairs, bless him, but his heart is in the right place.
But I think part of the problem is in some deep, deep recess of her mind, Serena does like Cordell. The issue is just like, how can he come in this package? So she's fighting it. But
I don't
she's
agree.
realizing, I think in a deep recess, I think
I feel
she's
like
just
she thinks
like,
she's
this kid,
better than him, and
yeah,
she
she
can do
does.
better.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We are saying the same thing. I think
Okay.
sometimes you could meet someone that you think is great. You get along, like her jokes, her pace, the patience. He understands her. He's willing to accept her as she is. But in
Yeah.
her mind, she's like, it cannot come in this package. What do you mean? Like, why would it be a 21-year-old who has no ambition and then whatever else that she thinks or whatever? But in reality, on paper, they do get like they dance together, they laugh together, they whatever together, but she's just fighting it like I reject that. This is what is for me. This is what.
Actually, yeah. I do see what you're saying. I think, yeah, I 100% see. Yeah, she's got like what her future should look like. She's got a picture of it,
Yes.
and that's not what they say.
Yes.
She's from Dallas as well, right, Serena?
Houston.
Oh, okay. Why do I think it was Dallas? See, it would be so easy. Anyway, I guess if they work together, they could make it work. And Nigel's also from Houston, right?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Yes,
Anytime I
he
say
is. No,
something,
Nigel's 100% from Houston. Yeah, I remember.
he is,
Yeah.
because I saw him and I was like, this man is Nigerian.
Yeah.
And then they said his name was Nigel, and I was like, I don't know. Then he said he was from
Ghanaians
Houston.
love
Then
a
I was like,
Nigel, though. I
okay.
can't lie. Ghanaians love a Nigel. What's his last name? Okay, please keep talking. I'm
That's
gonna go look
whatever.
it up.
Okay. So anyway, so that's where it is with Serena. Serena fancies herself with someone like, because she wanted Koi when he came, when he picked her
Yes.
up and all that. And then this Nigel when he came in. So she wants someone in the package of a manly man because she makes comments like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's a man. But then she realizes I don't have anything in common with them. They don't have the actual basis or the
Mm-hmm.
actual course that I require, but Cordell has that. But let's talk about Eggate.
Sorry, before you move on, yes, Tayne, Nigel's one of your people. Nigel Okafor. He's even Igbo.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Do you know it's so
Yeah,
funny? They put a new
yeah,
Houston bachelor becomes Love Island surprise rival. Emeka Nigel Okafor was
yeah.
unveiled as a surprise
Like,
bachelor. You know your
I know.
people. Mm-hmm.
It's always funny because I see like my non-Nigerian friends and I tell them like I can identify just by seeing it. Like, how? I was like, don't
Oh
ask me.
yeah. Oh,
It's
it's
just a
easy.
superpower.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can always tell other Ghanaians, 100%. You
No,
know
no,
your
no. We
people.
know how to identify. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, yeah. So as soon as I saw him, I was like, and I wasn't sure when I saw the Nigel, but when I heard the Houston, I was like, okay, yeah, we up. It's right there.
Oh god.
So, again, so Miguel comes in like a rocket. Everyone's in him and all of that. I have a bone to pick with Janae. Don't. That was a very pick me moment. You're making eggs for this man 3 different ways. First day, all that kind of stuff. Like, why? Why are we doing all of that? Fine. She brings the eggs. I don't understand if Serena and Leah have a thing secretly against Janae, if there's stuff we
Yes.
don't know about, but
Yes.
that was overreaction.
That's your
That was
answer.
overreaction.
Yes. They are in competition with her, and they've decided it's the two of them against her, and it's bled into the Connor situation, the Miguel situation. People need to open their eyes. I've been in these dynamics before. They're all, yay, besties on the surface, but they're in secret competition with her. Let's be real. Um, and yes, Janae was being a pick me, but Serena was being absolutely ridiculous. She was literally just coming to drop off eggs, and you made it a whole issue. But Janae being a bird is Janae being a bird. It's got nothing to do with you, Serena, you know? But I also feel like that's Janae's flirting style, and sometimes it comes across so cringy. And then sometimes I'm like, girl, you're so much smarter than this, and you're playing dumb. I feel like she picks and chooses when to do it. But I still love her. That's still my girl. But yeah, she can be a bit of a bird sometimes.
I think the thing that was weird was like 2 other people interrupted conversations and it wasn't a thing. And
Thank
this is where I
you.
get frustrated with the editing of Love Island. Is like, why don't they show that? Because Hannah came in interrupted, and I think
Hmm.
Liv or whatever.
Live,
So when
yeah.
they were all going on and on about it, why didn't Hannah goes, well, but I interrupted. It's all fair game. We're all
Hmm.
whatever. No one said anything. Well, Serena went on and on
That's
until the
what I
next
mean.
morning,
The
and then
level
she
of
already,
vitriol. That showed me
yeah,
exactly how she feels about Janae on the inside. She's in competition with her, and that's why she couldn't hide it to make that big of a deal. Come on.
and she apologized, and then Leah's like, she's not your boyfriend, blah, blah. I was like, wow. And here's another gripe I have with Janae. I think Janae's being too nice to these people.
Yes.
Completely understand the thing of when you're on reality TV, you don't want to be the angry black woman and you don't want to be the one, whatever, but she's being too nice. Like, even in the last episode where she was like, oh, I'm going to sleep outside with Leah. Like, Leah would not do the same for you. You don't need to do all that for her.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand what all that. I don't want to go too hard on Serena because honestly, when it came to saving Janae, Serena was just like, we're not voting Janae out. So
Yeah. a
that's
hundred
on that.
percent.
So
No,
she's
I
there.
really
I don't
tried
know.
with Serena. I was ignoring all the little things I was picking up on, but enough was enough for me in the last episode. I was like, nah, I don't like her. Sorry.
But
You can't be Leah's
but
handmaiden.
let's talk about the whole dancing challenge. Another great move by the producers again.
Yes.
Why? I don't fault Serena for that. They had a conversation where they said they were still open to talking to other people. So why the hell was he still dancing? Oh God, he looked
I
so stupid. By the way,
You did.
it
I
was
felt
the
so sorry for him.
dancing.
But I also feel like it was a conversation, but it wasn't like that. I don't know. I don't know. I
Mm-mm.
don't know. I still low-key feel like she played him a little bit. I don't know why I feel that. Maybe I'm the wrong person, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I'm not a fan. Like it's very clear that she's up and down and she's looking for something better. I think after she tries, if she doesn't get heads turned in casa or whatever, she's gonna quote unquote accept her fate
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
stay with him. But she was clear. They had a conversation. We're still open. I'm glad that you with it, but I still like you or whatever. So I don't actually fault her for that. I know everyone is saying that, but they had a conversation, and I think that he should have, if nothing else to save face, he should have done what Kendall did and just
Yeah.
danced away. And then
Yep.
whatever happens, happens. But speaking of Kendall, I will say Kendall was the person I liked from the very jump. I was like, this man is corny as all hell, but I just kind of like his vibe or whatever. But he's been annoying me lately. I don't like that he's not in full support of Janae. It seems like he's in more the pursuit of drama than
Yep.
anything else, and I don't
He's a
like
boy's
that.
boy, Kendall, and I feel like he fooled us because we thought he was one of those guys that sticks up for girls, but I'm seeing his boys come first, which is whatever. But for me, when I turned off him a little bit was when he didn't call her a bitch to her face, but Nicole, he was like, "Oh, I'm not tripping over no bitch," and I was like, There's your true colors peeking out a little bit, or are you that mad about it? So, but again, I don't feel sorry for Nicole. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm with you on Kendall. I don't know what it is exactly, but that I started going off him a little bit from that. But yeah, I don't hate him. I still genuinely quite like him, but he needs to find someone he genuinely likes. So yeah,
Well, he needs to find someone that genuinely likes him.
yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I think
true.
he's not. It's not hard for him to like people because he's just like, whoever likes me, I'll like you back. But
Yeah.
but he just needs to find someone that actually likes him. I like his relationship with Cordell. They're both corny together, but
Oh, he's from
yeah,
Dallas. That's it. I knew one of them was from Dallas. Kendall's from Dallas. I was trying to remember.
okay.
Yeah.
So the issue here for me is I think Nicole is being hypocritical. So she went ahead and was with Miguel and all that, which the producers ain't shit for because the editing of Nicole with Miguel and then showing Kendall doing like a little dance and being corny and dancing to with Aaron, that was just hilarious as all hell. But she said she wanted to get to know both of them. He said, cool. Naturally, his feelings are hurt. There's nothing wrong with that. And he's like, fine. He withdrew a little because he's protecting his heart because he doesn't know where you stand, 50-50 or not, or whatever. And in all honesty, she seemed to be leaning towards Miguel because
Yep.
Miguel was who gave her something and all that kind of stuff. So when they did the dance and was like, would you not want to stay or not? Absolutely, he should go out because that is what she's doing. She's exploring with other people. Like theoretically, that is what she's doing in real life. Just because you didn't dance away doesn't mean that you're not doing that. So her getting mad at him and saying that that shows the true colors and is out of spite and is out of this. Yes, maybe it was out of spite, but
He's
I don't
entitled to do
understand
that.
why she got so mad. And
Oh,
then when
you
he was
you
trying to
do
get to know
think?
the
Come
other
on.
girl,
It's because she wants them to fight over her, and he took that power out of her hands a little bit. So I think she was just humiliated. That's all. She was
yeah,
enjoying having Miguel and Kendall fighting over her, and he kind of played her back a little bit, so she couldn't take what she was dishing out. Yeah, it's just her ego. I actually don't think she likes either of them like that, because the last episode where she's pulling away from Miguel once he told her that he makes his like she likes to chase. She's not there for love. She's there for endorsements, and that is so obvious. So obvious.
I was gonna say I agree with you. I was gonna say that she only picked Kendall because she realized that Miguel is for the streets.
Yes.
So if she went with him, he'll probably leave her for somebody else. And she's like, Kendall's probably the safer option. And
Mm-hmm.
he's the one who likes me more than I like him. So let me
Yeah.
just stick with him for now. So that's where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't
Are
know if
we
we
forgetting
emphasized a lot.
someone?
I think we are. I'm gonna go through all the couples. I just wanted to reiterate, guys, that it was just a hot mess. The whole guys screaming. I think we mentioned it, but just wanted to
Yeah.
reiterate, like all of them screaming at the girls. At Jeanette, not a good look, not a good anything. Like no matter what your emotions were at that time, they should have just been in check. Like it's never that serious. And it was almost like we forgot that Hakeem was being
Yeah.
sent.
And I'm sorry, like they were entitled to pick whoever they wanted to pick. That was the choice I had to make, just like you had the choice you had to make. Like you
Yeah,
can be upset about it, but what was all that screaming for? Absolutely ridiculous.
yeah.
Shouting at someone like someone's been sent away to war, tears. Like, come on, grow up. I know they're young, they're not that young. It was just, I really, really, really don't like it. It turned me off a lot of them.
I do want to say that going back to Kendall, this is not nice, guys. I apologize if anyone is offended, but Kendall is a bitch, and part of why I turned on him. That last game where they asked for who's the guy that you think is two-faced or whatever, and Kendall picked Rob, and is like, oh, Leah, Rob, whatever, and stuff like that. That was so left field for me
Yeah.
because I'm like, that's fine if he thinks that it's Rob, but the easy answer, especially if they're saying that they're close friends, they're buds, it's a little weird how all the guys want to be liked by Rob.
Mm-hmm.
That's very maybe not Cordell, but it's very strange how they all just want to be, oh, that's my best bud, that's my whatever. But easily, without any question, Kendall could have just said, I picked Miguel because he was going after my girl and all that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like, why not do that? Why go through all that? Why all the mess? I don't like when he went to Connor and was like, you man, you did good where you didn't respond to Janae for the
Yeah.
other messy think that they had that you could have done anything. Like, whose side are you on? Anytime there's gossip presenting, he's there just chiming in, going wherever the wind blows. Can you stand for something, sir?
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Like he's like a
very
pick me
annoying.
for the other guys. It's ridiculous, and that's what I actually like. When I started Rob has to stay on my TV, he called him up on it. He wasn't. It's one thing I really like about Americans, man, compared to the British people. They're just gonna say it as it is and damn the consequences. He was like, "Yeah, that's not cool that you did that. I don't understand why you do that." And then he gave his bullshit excuse, and he's like, "I hear you, but yeah, I still don't really buy it." I feel like our friendship is going to be different. And I'm like, good for you, because why did he do that? That was really random. Again, people in secret competition with you. That's all it is.
Oh,
Oh,
if Rob is gonna stay on our TVs, he might need to ask production for more clothes. This whole overall shtick is not cute anymore.
ugly.
Like,
And he has a snake tattoo. I hate snakes. Oh, God. Just everything. Sorry. Can't do it.
and then when he wears shirts, his shirts are stretched out. That's a pet peeve of mine. It's truly a pet peeve.
His
Oh
style
man.
is very different. I saw you tweet about Serena's fashions as well, and I was like, oh, Tayne, never change.
I'm
She's
just
there to give
saying,
you
like,
autumn winter fashions in Fiji.
fall fashions. And then she wore that dress where it looked cute on her, but then she seemed uncomfortable. All she kept doing
Yes,
was
was pulling it down.
pulling it down,
Uh-huh.
and all that kind of stuff. So
And then
Janae
Janae's
seems
never
to,
met latex. She's never liked either, right?
yep, yep,
Or she looks.
yep. I, I have a question. Why do bombshells never date each other?
I don't think they're allowed to. It's a yeah. I don't think they're allowed to until I think one or two recoupling cycles, depending. But I know people have asked before. They're literally not allowed to. By producers, they're not allowed to pick each other. At least
Yeah,
for
I
at
know.
least one recoupling. Sorry.
No, but that's what I mean. Have we had bombshells date afterwards? I don't think we
Yeah.
have. I don't mean, oh, who did it?
Kai and Sanam, they won the whole show in the UK, and they were both bombshells.
They came in at the same time?
No, not at the same time.
No, no, no. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't
Uh-huh.
mean um two people come in and then they like each other and then they go with each other. No. I get it. They have to give it like one or two. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean like two bombshells who come in at the same time and
Oh.
then they date the first recoupling, they don't really feel there, then they're like, oh, we came together, we're friends, we seem to have a thing. That's never happened. Like Kai and them, I remember, but they came differently at different
Oh
times.
yeah, yeah.
Was she
They
wasn't
were.
she Casa? Wasn't she
She was
Casa?
Casa Amor. Yeah.
She was Casa Amor, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I mean is like two people who came in together, because usually there's a different bond when two people come together. Whether the
Yeah.
girls, whether the guys, they're just usually closer. So I just feel like, and then they do check-ins with each other. I just feel like eventually afterwards, I'm just like, oh, none of them have never struck a thing with each other, and
I
it's always
want to
very
say there
interesting.
has to have been someone. It's impossible for there to have been this many seasons of Love Island. That's never happened. But I can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah. So I guess
I've
even
never
if it did,
seen
it
it.
wasn't significant. So it is what
Yeah.
it is.
So,
Oh, wait.
oh,
In no, that was Casa More. It doesn't count. I was about to say Love Island UK season 4 with Jack and that surfer girl. Oh, I can't remember her name.
oh
Laura.
God,
The other
with the
Laura.
hair that bothered you.
No, that was Lucy.
Oh,
Lucy. No, it
okay.
was the other Laura because there were like 3 Lauras in that season. I'm like, gosh, it just cracks me up when everyone has the same name. But anyway, yeah, it's not that deep. I can't think of it. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm sure there's still so much to talk about, but we're gonna wrap it up by talking about the couples that we have as of Friday's episode. We have Janae and Kenny. I do not like them together. Kenny looks like a Muppet to me, and Kenny's too young. And Kenny just, I know she keeps saying it, and she and Serena were an after sun, and they were so cute together. Like, they were literally like, I'm sure Sally was like, this is the new Sally and Justine, because they wore matching tops, they were giggling with each other and all that good stuff or whatever. And she kept saying that before he came into the house, she had just told Serena that her man is going to be Latino, from New
Mm,
York, and I forget the last thing. But and then Kenny came in or whatever. But I'm just like, I don't see. I still don't feel like this is her man. I wanted her to be with Nigel,
yeah. I feel like they had
and
better
I don't
chemistry.
know. I don't know what that's about, which might lead to something else. So Nigel was going with Serena and all that good stuff, which is another thing about the whole egg thing. If Serena was so into Cordell, why was she mad anyways
Hmm.
with the whole thing?
Thank
But
you.
anyways, I do think, I mean, I know Janae said she wanted a Latino, but before she said that, I thought like she just wanted like a black man and all that, which I think Serena also wants. So I feel like they might have the same taste in men. And I just
Hmm.
wondered if that's going to cause any kind of issues.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with Janae and Kenny, but she seems so happy with him, but I don't see it. It still doesn't feel like her man. But again, that's how I feel about Whitney and Locke, and they're still together, so you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't buy that, by the way. Sorry. That's my controversial opinion. I still think that's a PR relationship. I don't buy it for 1 minute. That girl is mercenary. She is all about her business. She knows what works. But anyway, could be wrong.
we have Liv and Nigel. Thoughts?
No, it's just for now. Do you know what I mean? When someone comes in, they'll both be off. Like it's just for now thing. Yeah, that's all
Yeah,
I have to
we
say about
don't.
that. I actually don't know
I
who
mean,
Liv's type is. To be honest with you, I really don't. I do want her to find someone. I can't lie, because she's grown on me. She's really, 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 really grown on me. But yeah, they're just coupling up for now.
yeah, I don't know what her type is. When she came in and she said she talked to everyone in the house, I'll be remiss not to say that she talked to everyone except the black guys. And then she
Yes.
coupled up with Hakeem and she claimed that she liked him, so I don't know. But
But
then
she
the guys
coupled
are
up with him
interested
by
in her.
default.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
all
So
the
I
black guys
no,
she's done, it's all been by default.
but
Sorry.
she made out with him in
Yeah,
bed
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that stuff. So I don't know. So you're right. At the end of the day, I think I'm agreeing with you. Like I don't know what her type is.
Yeah, I don't
If
think
she
she's
had to say,
prejudiced or anything. I hope I'm not coming across that way to anyone. But yeah, I don't think black guys are like her number one type. But I think she's open to dating them. But yeah, I can't figure her out. Or maybe we just haven't seen. She said, and they just haven't shown us. So
I just think she's here for vibes. So I
yeah,
don't know. I just think Nigel is all right, but Nigel does not have the personality
nope.
to hang in Love Island. So we have Cassie and Rob. What is that about? We didn't even touch on that.
Oh yeah, I
Cassie
forgot
came
about them
in,
too.
threw shade at Rob. Like some people I might have gone for, their personalities turned me off. So we know it's Rob. But then Rob did his thing where he doesn't say words but makes you do what he wants you to
Mhm.
do. And she's like, I should have chosen you for the date. And then she kissed
Do you
he
know who?
kisses her.
No, continue. I'm sorry.
He kisses her during the challenge, and now all of a sudden she's chosen him, and this man has secured his spot in staying in the house. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think he's into her.
Nope. I think she should have picked Kendall. Really and truly. Like, I don't know, Kessie's a very pretty girl, but I didn't see chemistry that deep with anyone. But I do think Kendall is very, very, very attracted to her. And I feel like that would be her best bet of staying in the villa long term. Because I think Rob is gonna bounce as soon as he finds someone he's actually all in on. So could be wrong.
So we'll see what happens because we never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We have Aaron and Kayla, who, I mean, I know you said they're not into each other, which is fair because Kayla was
No,
trying to explore all options earlier.
thank you. It's not even like I don't think they're like attracted to each other and all of that, but I definitely feel like they're both playing a game. I don't buy the whole, and Kayla especially. Actually, no, both of
You
them. I
think
think if
Kayla has that? You think Kayla
if
has
they
that much
find someone more
depth?
their
Think
type,
about
they're
it,
bouncing. No, Tayne, they're the ones
Kayla.
that trick you. They're the ones that trick you. They're dumb. Oh, I don't know what's going on. So gutless. They're the ones that know exactly what they're doing. I will never be fooled of the show again because I saw it in the very beginning where she slyly tried to get away from Aaron and then she saw it
Yeah.
wasn't looking good and she came running back and made it look like he was the one. They're doing it to each other. I think they're both playing the game. So yeah, I
Okay.
do. I do. I do.
Um, we have Nicole and Kendall.
Yeah, I haven't warmed to Nicole, can't lie. I actually think I want her gone, to be honest with you. Yeah, she can go.
Okay, and
I
then
won't
we
fight her
have
marriage.
Leah and Miguel.
No, they both need to stay on. Sorry. Chaos. Miguel's gonna
Okay.
like someone new every 16 hours in that villa until he messes with the wrong one, he puts him in his place, and then he'll be voted out. Or like he won't have anyone to couple up with. And Leah is just she needs to stay on our screen. She like storylines keeps going. She could be voted out in a few weeks. But yeah, just for entertainment value, she has to stay. So yeah. But I
Okay.
don't think they're gonna stay
So
together. No.
okay. So there's gonna be a vote in the next episode. Well, there's already been a vote.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you vote. I vote because I get
No,
so
because I
irate or
never
whatever.
watch live. I never watch live.
Okay,
So I never
regardless of what
vote.
happens, I
Mhm.
always vote for Janae. So
Woohoo.
who do you think is gonna be leaving the next episode?
Ooh.
Because a
Are they
couple,
doing
a
a
couple
couple?
easily. Well, they said a boy and a girl, so you never know. I guess it depends on the
Mm.
results, and they can manipulate. But who
Yeah,
do you
who they
think is
want
gonna
to
be?
stay. I actually think Nicole is in danger out of the girls. Yeah, Nicole, because I don't think they get rid of Liv, hopefully. I do think her couple will probably be in the bottom, though, because Nigel just got here, you know? And I don't think
Mhm.
Liv has stands like that. But I do think she's good TV. Um, Nicole, she's if they're doing couples, she'll be saved by Kendall because he's pretty popular. But if it's individuals, I don't. Yeah, I think Nicole may be in danger. Yeah, either
Oh,
her or
sorry,
it's.
guys. I, for, I forgot to
Uh,
mention Serena and Gordon.
oh, yeah. Sorry. I guess Serena. I feel so disloyal, but I'm sorry. He's just really annoyed me. But Cordell ain't going nowhere. That's my baby. People love him. He got the played sad boy edit. So if they're doing couples, Serena's gonna be saved by default. So yeah, I think it's gonna be what's her name? Nicole, or is Cass up for it, or is she protected because she's new?
I don't think she's protected because if she's
Yeah.
protected, then that means Nigel is
The
protected,
others are,
Kenny's
yeah, yeah,
protected,
that's true. That's
and that's a
true.
lot.
Then
So
her.
I
It's
actually
gonna
think
be Nicole and Cass, I think.
Cassie and Rob, if they're doing couples, are going to be in the bottom. I actually
Yeah.
don't think Nicole and Kendall are safe because I think Kendall is iffy. Like I don't know
Yeah.
that he's as popular as the other guys. And
He's
then
lost
Janae
some
and
of his
Kenny,
popularity.
I want to say Janae and Kenny are going to be safe. I do think that there's a lot of us Team Janae's out there, but I don't know what these voters are doing because I fully did not expect Janae to be in the bottom the last time.
Me
So
neither.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. So if, depending on how they feel, if they go by that, then they might be in the bottom. But I
But don't
don't
you think they
like
won the
that.
bottom because of Hakeem? Like, who liked Hakeem? Let's be for real. I feel like he
People
dragged her
like
down.
Janae more. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
I don't know. I don't want Janae to feel like the outside people don't like her. But it was just I think
yeah,
for me it was the fact that Leah and Connor were safe. And I'm
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
how? Like how
And
are they
Leah
safe
has
or anything?
stands now, so her and Miguel are probably safe. So,
Yeah. Well, if they're not a couple, I think Cassie would be the girl that goes. And then for boys, it might be Nigel.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't really see anyone
So
else. Does Miguel? Do people
no,
like him
he's
like
safe.
that?
I don't know what people
I want
think,
him
but
to
I
stay
think
because
it's
he's nice to
entertaining.
look at, but he's ridiculous. But yeah, but he is nice to look at.
You you can't send Miguel right before Casamore. So I
Yeah,
just feel
true.
like there's gonna be producer intervention. Like if Nigel doesn't make it to Casamore, that's fine. Like we're gonna be
Yeah.
okay and stuff. So last season we had someone named Bergie. He was like the nerd and he wasn't
Yes,
getting any
I saw him
girls and no
on
one
The Traitors, right?
the traders exactly. And then he ended up with his girlfriend who they're still together because she's black and everyone was like no it's not and online people were like when they met his grandparents like they don't approve. I'm like god, like you said, stands are
People
terrible.
project so
But
much on complete strangers. It's insane. Who did he end up with, by the way? What was the name of his girlfriend?
uh god, I just blanked.
It's like
I
no.
see her
See,
face.
I'm asking for spoilers because I may actually go back and watch the season since you said it was good. But it will have to probably be in the fall when there's no
Taylor.
Olympics, all of that. So yeah,
Taylor. Her name is
Taylor.
Taylor.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
I
cool.
actually think she lives in Dallas as well. They're in the
Oh
long distance
hey, Dallas baby, whoop whoop. Sorry,
relationship.
guys, I've become. You know what? Sorry, as an aside, I really apologize for giving you all these random anecdotes that nobody asked about my life. But hey, this is what you get. When I moved to Dallas, I was like, Texas is the weirdest place I've ever lived because people are Texan first, American second. I've never lived in a state where I immediately knew what the state flag looked like. People have Texas tattoos, Texas necklaces, Texas t-shirts. I'm like, okay, damn, we get it. But now, what, I've been, what, 5, 6 years? Yeah, I get it, baby. Texas! Bigger, better, the best.
I'm
I've
still
become
mad
a
at you.
Texan.
You moved
I
after
moved
I
here when
moved
you
out.
left. Yeah.
Yeah. Woohoo. Great.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Um, we have seen the Casa Amor people. I'm not impressed. Not because they're not pretty. Well, the girls are pretty. The guys,
Always.
nothing. Like nothing. I look at them and I'm like, meh, okay. That brings nothing. I was gonna say something. As much as we're talking about the show, I do notice that the bombshells are usually like for the girls, they're for the most part they're Caucasians. They
Mm-hmm.
don't bring non-Caucasians as bombshells. Now it seems like they're making up for it in Casa more because most of the girls, I think there's only like one or two
Yeah.
that are Caucasians. I couldn't tell the rest, which is the other thing with these seasons. There's a lot of fillers, surgery, tanning things. I don't know what inserts. There's a
Black and
lot of
doing this.
makeup.
You're like, Is she
that's going
overturned or is
on.
she biracial?
Yeah, and then they put like the Photoshop, and by the time you put all of that, you don't know what isn't. But we'll see what happens because it seems like the men that are left, I don't know what their type is, and if Miguel or anybody's his type or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But in terms of the men, there's only one man there that might catch Serena's eyes, but everybody
Mhm.
else, I'm just like, I don't the steez the Riz is not there
They
at
do
all.
this all the time. I don't know if you've seen the UK bombshells, but they're taking the piss. But anyway, I always say sometimes with personality added, people can always grow on us. So I'm a bit
Yeah.
open, but every single year the women are gorgeous and the men are just there. I'm over it. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
with you. Okay.
All right. So I think we covered most of the stuff. Like, you know how life works. We're gonna remember all the stuff we didn't talk about
Yes.
after we are done. But all of this to say that it's been a great season of Love Island USA. If you don't watch, I can understand it is a commitment because
Yeah.
it's every day except 2 days a week, and you have to keep up with all the characters. But if you do have the
Hmm.
time, recommend. It's on Peacock, and it's just a fun summer show. And the US one is just 6 weeks, so you
Yeah,
know,
shorter. The UK
yeah.
one this season, if you also want to get into that, it started off so well and then it's kind of gone off the rails because they're keeping people in that shouldn't be in. But that's still also a pretty solid watch. I can't hate. So yeah, it is what it is. But I'm so glad you had me. Like, this is, I don't understand how happy I was when you asked me. Guys, Tayne asked me like this was going to be a chore. And I'm like, talk about Love Island. When I'm actually, it's a season I'm watching, I will talk about it all day, every day, instead of spamming you in WhatsApp with my unsolicited opinions when I watch it at weird times of my day. So thank you so much. And Aid, in your absence, thank you for having me be a guest on Altar Call. My favorite, second favorite podcast.
You are always welcome here. So, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know if you're watching. As always, we're still a MASH podcast, but we don't know when the new season is coming back. I'm trying to get Nana to watch this season, but I don't know if
Guys,
it's
you know
gonna
what it
work.
is?
But
I love maths. I love the concept. But my problem is people don't know when to edit. I don't understand why there's so many episodes. I cannot commit. I'm sorry. It's who I am. You know who I am now. If it was a nice 10, 15 episodes every season, I'd be there. But I can't do all the extras. It's too much. So I just leave you to update me so I always know vaguely what's going on.
well, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have you on to conclude when we have the winners and all that, and we can say how the season went. But in the meantime, guys, give us a 5-star rating if you so please. We're available everywhere that you listen to podcasts. You can give us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and let us know all the comments. There's email, there's Instagram, there's Twitter at AltarCallMAFS. That's AltarCallMAFS. And until next time, when I will be back with A to continue our off-season episodes. See you then. Bye, guys.
Bye.